Hold up a finger for every one of these that applies to you. Have you ever had to buy something because you cannot find where yours is? It's happened to me. Have you ever opened up a door to a closet or a room and immediately gotten overwhelmed, so you shut the door again? Have you ever declined having company over because you don't want them to see the state of a space? And lastly, did you click on today's video because you want to get more organized? If so, then today's video is for you. Let's go. Hello, welcome back. I'm Noreen, and this is the Crafty Organizer, where I love bringing you videos on ways to get organized, declutter, do DIYs, and crafty upcycles. But today I want to talk about why your space is messy and how to change it. I did a video before on a time when I was not organized. For me personally, organizing has always been a way for me to cope and to stay in control of things that might not be in control elsewhere in my life. But I have shared those struggles with you, and I have shared the things that work for me in the hopes that they'll work for you as well. So after dealing with my own messy issues, I started to notice a thread, especially after working with so many clients. And that is, there simply is too many things in the home. And I know you're going to roll your eyes and, oh my gosh, that's not what we want to hear. But the truth is, if you have too many things in your home or in a space, you're setting yourself up for failure because there simply isn't a way to honestly create a home for those things. I have talked many times on this channel about the 5-gallon bucket. The theory is if you have a 5-gallon bucket, you can only fit so much inside. And even if you are a Tetris wizard and you're able to manage balancing things on top, eventually things are going to spill over on the side and you're going to find yourself feeling overwhelmed by those things. I promise I am speaking not just from my own personal experience, but from the experience of helping many clients get control of their space. Now, it's really easy to talk about decluttering and so much harder to actually put it into practice, especially if you're a creative person like me and you see the value in almost everything. So one of the first things to do is figure out what you really need versus what you want to have around. And I know that seems impossible to do. But if you put yourself in a situation of thinking almost in emergency terms, if you had to leave your house next week, what are the very first things you would grab for? What are the first things you would think of to think, I have one truck, I'm moving next week, what's going into it? By following a mindset like that, you're really going to be focusing on just the essentials, and a lot of other things are going to become a low priority. Now, granted, I am not asking you to pack up and pretend that you're moving to actually get rid of things, but keeping that in a mindset of, would I keep this if I had to move next week, would really start to identify what's important as a need and what's just a nice item to have around in case. Now, I've talked also many times about going through things and sorting with the mentality of what do I want to keep, donate, what can go in the trash, and what can be stored. And having bins set up ahead of time for sorting is really going to make a difference. So before I jump into 5 quick steps that I want you to do, I want you to keep this in mind. Something done is better than something done perfect. Let me say that again. Something done is better than something done perfect. So many times I hear from people that they want to get organized, but they haven't had the time, they haven't had the proper things set up, they haven't had the proper furniture or storage units, and so they keep waiting. But what's happening while they're waiting is those accumulations of things are continuing to grow. And unfortunately, as they grow, so do the feelings of being completely overwhelmed, and it takes away our idea of where to even start. So let's go into step 1, which is start with something small. Pick a drawer, pick a shelf. Focus on just that little area with the mentality of, if I was moving next week, what would I need? And those other things can start going away. They can go into a trash pile, a donate pile. If you think you're going to need it or it goes to something, go ahead and put it in a storage box for right now. And if it's something you're actively using, go ahead and keep it in the space. The next step is set an appointment for yourself. It's really easy to think, okay, I'm just going to spend 5 minutes doing this task. But the really crucial part is when. Put it in your phone as a reminder that at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, noon, whatever time works best for you is when you're going to spend those 5 minutes. Having something pre-scheduled and then pop up as a reminder allows you to really follow through more and have an accountability. If something comes up and you're not able to do it today, reschedule it. Don't skip it, but having that time set aside will allow you to get through those spaces with that firm commitment. Step number 3 is make sure that when you are setting these times to go through those small spaces, that you have as few distractions as possible. If background music or TV is what's helping you either set a specific amount of time or it helps calm you to hear something in the background, that's great. But if you have kids or grandkids around or a spouse or family member who's constantly interrupting you or worse, questioning the decisions you're making, make sure when you are setting up your sorting time is without distractions. It's already difficult to make the decisions of should I keep it, let it go, donate it. Don't let something else inhibit those decisions. Keep everyone away so that it's easier to make those decisions distraction-free. Step number 4, I've already mentioned a little, but having a plan of keeping, donating, trashing, or storing is really important. But where are you going to store those things that need to be decided upon? Who are you going to donate the items to? Where are you going to store those things that you're keeping is a real big part of successfully getting through those areas that you don't want to have messy anymore. By having those decisions made in advance, as soon as a box is full, you can clearly mark it and store it. You can close it up and take it to the donation. You can take it back out to the trash and dump it. Or you can put those items that you're keeping back where they belong. But having the plan of what is going to happen with each one of those categories sets you up for success. The last step is get reinforcements. If you have supportive people around, and that is the key word, supportive. If you're able to have someone around who can encourage you in a positive way to let go some of those things that maybe you have not used in a really long time, they can help put the items into the correct category once you've made decisions. They can seal up boxes right on the outside, take the items to donation centers, or store them in places where you've already predetermined. But having someone with you will make it less of a daunting task. Having that person with you will make it a lot more enjoyable, but when it is a difficult decision, if they are supportive, they can help you make those tougher decisions. Now, one of the things I like talking about a lot is there are so many amazing channels and suggestions on ways to get organized. Of course, I hope you find the content that I have on my channel helpful, but a more important thing is finding someone who resonates and clicks with your style. There are tons of organizers out there. I love the Organized Soprano. I think Kay is amazing. Her way of approaching organizing is very similar to mine. I also love Dana K. White. I think she's a real no-nonsense, get rid of the extra stuff you don't need. So check out her channel. And of course, Cass at The Clutterbug is fantastic at breaking down systems that work for your individual personality type. But there are so many channels. So if you are trying to get organized and you're struggling, start going through channels. Find someone who is similar to the way you approach things. Find someone who you can enjoy listening to. And if you find yourself nodding, going, yeah, that's what I want to do, then you found someone who is really like-minded with you. Follow them, start writing down the ideas they have, but more importantly, dive in and try some of the techniques they suggest, and you will be organized in no time. Don't forget I have that antique vintage dupe of that scale coming around the corner, so make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for stopping by and saying hello today. Make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know which YouTubers you enjoy watching for organizing. I love getting new techniques from other people and having different styles that I can recommend to other viewers. So let me know who you enjoy watching. As always, thank you to my patrons who allow me to make these videos. Their support absolutely makes it possible for me to record these videos and bring them to you. So thank you, patrons. Thank you, viewers, and I will see you guys in just a few days. Bye.